great to have all you guys here today for our No Trump class. Finally, we're getting ready to have our No Trump class. We've already talked about major suit openings, minor suit openings, and we promised you coming up next would be No Trump, and that's what you're here for today. But remember, we said that when we decide what we're going to bid first, what is our first priority of bidding? Majors? Is that right? Is that our first priority of bidding? Minors? No Trump? No Trump, thank you very much. No Trump is our first priority for a bid, but yet we've kept it for last. Why do you think that might be? That could be one reason, but the actual reason is because the responses to No Trump are so specific, and that once the No Trump bid is made, it has completely described your hand, right? So what is the definition of an opening No Trump bid? Balanced hand. Balanced hand. And 15 to 17, yes. A balanced hand is what? No more than one doubleton. And 15 to 17 then is the number of points that you need to have. Now, how many different kinds of balanced hands are there, do you think? How many different distributions? Okay, what I'd like you to do is at your table right now with the cards in front of you, just figure out, because you've already divided them into suits, just figure out what are the actual distributions that you could have. So take a couple of minutes there looking at those cards or just thinking about what you know about cards and what are the balanced distributions that we can have.
The number of cards.
Right, for the number of cards per suit, what could we be? Okay, let's look at that. 4, 3, 3, 3. 5, 3, 3, 2. 4, 4, 3, 2. Are there any others? No. No, because as soon as you put 6 in one, you're going to have to either have 2 doubletons or a singleton, okay? So these are the only ones that we have. Which is the most balanced of those? 4, 3, 3, 3. That's just about the most balanced you can get. What is the least balanced of those balanced hands? The 5, 3, 3, 2. Exactly right. And then this is just the third one that we have, okay? So those are the only ones that you can have that meet the definition of balanced hand. Now, let's look at some of the point distributions, just a couple of hands here. Let's say we have, let's look at this hand. We've got the Queen Jack and 2 small, 7, 6, 4, Ace King Jack, and Ace Queen 7. So how many points do we have there? 17. Would this be a No Trump hand? Is it a balanced hand? Are we in between the 15 to 17?
Yes.
Okay. So that would be a 1 No Trump opening hand. How about this one? How about this one? How many high card points do we have? How many high card points? 15 high card points plus 1 for length, right? Okay, because we do get to count length. Although, what is the maximum number of length points we'll ever be able to count in No Trump? 1, right? Because you guys told me the most unbalanced hand was 5, 3, 3, 2. That's the only one that's going to have more than 4. So if you have 5, you can go ahead and give yourself 1 point for that extra length. That's the only time you'll be able to count it. So really, length does not come into No Trump, usually. So what about this one? Are we going to open this one No Trump?
Yes.
I see some faces that are going, I'm not sure about that. What's your hesitation? Well, does it meet our definition of balanced hand? Does it have 15 to 17 points? That's all we care about, okay? Now, I get it why you're a little bit worried about this, right? You don't like a queen doubleton, very smart, okay? But all we need to do is meet our definition of what the no trump hand is. It used to be, those of you, and I know a lot of you in this class played bridge 30 and 40 years ago and are coming back now to learn how to play. I mean, how many of you are in that circumstance? Quite a few. We get a lot of those people in our classes. In the past days, when you first learned to play, you may have learned that you needed to have a stopper in every suit to bid no trump. But that's no longer true. We don't care where the stoppers are, we care where the points are. Because basically, if you have the points and your partner has enough points to be bidding game, the stoppers will come where they may, okay? Sometimes you'll find yourself stopperless in a suit, but that's life, right? That's life. We can't worry about everything. But what we want to do is make sure that we have gotten the correct distribution and the correct points for us to be able to bid no trump. Let's look at one more here. How about this one? How many points do we have?
14.
And no. Well, do we have the correct distribution?
I mean, no distribution points.
Right, no extra points, so we have nothing we can add to it. We do have 14 high card points. That's not enough, so what are we going to open this hand?
One diamond.
One diamond, okay. Let's change this a little bit. Put a queen in here. Maybe put a jack in here.
Oh, wow. If only we could really do that.
Wouldn't it be nice? Now, what about this hand? How many points do you have? 21. Do we open one no trump with this? It's a balanced hand, right? What do we open?
2 no.
2 no. Because it's a balanced hand, 20 or 21, 2 no trump. Let's do one more. Let's get rid of this ace and add a jack in here. Let's come up with 18 points here. What are we going to do with this? One club, then jump to 2 no trump. So we can cover all of our circumstances here. Today we're going to focus mainly on just the 1 no trump. Okay, so this is the opener for 1 no trump. Okay? Now, let's talk about the responder. The opener has described his hand in 1 bid. That's why no trump is our highest priority of what to bid, right? Because anytime you can describe your hand in 1 bid, that's the bid we want to make. We don't get to do it too often, but when we can do it, that's what we want to do. But once you, as the opener, has described your hand in 1 bid, do you know what that makes the responder? In control. The responder is the captain of the ship. Can you guys see yourself in that role? You are strong. You are confident. You are capable. You are in charge of everything else that has to do with the auction. Everything else that has to do with the auction. Now, we said that we like to bid 1 no trump. That is our first choice of something to bid. But as the responder, what is your goal? Is it to get into no trump?
Game.
It's to get to game in something. And what do you prefer to get to game in? A major suit. A major suit. Why would you prefer not to get into a game in no trump? What's wrong with playing in no trump?
Big hands down.
Well, that's one thing, but what's just in general, what's wrong with playing 1 no trump or playing 3 no trump? Nothing? You're never worried about anything? Yes, you don't have the value of trumping. Have you never gotten to a 3 no trump contract and have your opponents take the first 5 or 6 tricks? Okay, I know you have. That's why we prefer to play in a major suit. We prefer to play 4 hearts or 4 spades as opposed to playing 3 no trump. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Are we going to be able to find a major suit fit? And are we going to be able to find a major suit fit while keeping this lazy guy who's the opener, while keeping him as the declarer? Now, why would we want him to stay as the declarer instead of the responder to be the declarer? He's got the strong hand. So we would prefer that the strong hand be concealed and that the weak hand be the one on the board. So we have a way of doing that, because what we need to do as the responder is to make the declarer bid what we think he should bid. Okay? So the first thing, there's really two parts that we have to worry about here under our responder role, and that is, first, are we at no game chances, possible game, or definitely game? So how many points do we need to have to be sure that we have a game? 10 or more points. Because 10 points added to 15 points, the lowest that our partner could have is 25 points. That's a game at no trump. It's usually a game at spades or hearts also. 26 there, but 25 usually works. How about to have no chance of game? Less than 6? No shot at game. Less than 8. So 7 or less. So that leaves 8 or 9 for a possible game. Possible game. So if you have 7 points or less, 7 points added to even the 17 points, if partner has the maximum, you only have 24 points, that's not game. 10 points plus 15, the least he could have is game, and 8 or 9, it might work. How will you know if it works? What's the determining factor? How many points the no trump person has. If he's at 17 and you've got 8 or 9, you've got game. If he's at 15, you don't, and he'll pass. What if he's at 16? Possible. Go for it. I like your style. But what you need to do as the no trump person is decide, are your 16 points more like 15 points, or are they more like 17 points? Remember that hand that we had up there just a minute ago that had a queen small, that you didn't like, that queen doubleton? Well, that might be one reason to downgrade that hand a little bit, and even though it were 16 points, treat it like 15. But it's only if you have 16 points you decide, am I going to go or am I going to stay? So that's the first thing. And this is the how high. And you know, we always talk about how high and where. As the captain of the ship, you're deciding the how high and where part. And so you are the ones that help decide this, because you're the one that knows whether you have a game, you don't have a game, or you have a maybe game. That's the how high part. The second part of it is where, okay? And the where, we said we are looking for a major suit. So we're looking for either hearts or spades. So how many hearts or spades would we need to have to be sure that we have the magic fit, the 8-card magic fit with our partner? How many would we have to have? How many does he have at least in each? He's got at least 2. So how many do you have to have? You would have to have 6. You would have to have 6 plus to be sure you have a fit.
6 plus trumps.
6 or more hearts or spades in your hand to be sure that you have a fit with your partner, because you know he's got 2 cards in every suit. That's the definition of his hand, 2 cards in every suit. If you have 5, you may have a fit. So if we have in a major suit at least 5 in the major suit, and definitely if we have 6, we are going to transfer. Now, what does transfer mean? Who are we transferring to? What does this transfer business mean? Right. We want to get it back to the opener. We want to transfer it to him so that he has to bid that suit first. And how do we do that? Bid the suit below that suit. So if we want him to bid hearts, what do we bid? Diamonds. And if we want him to bid spades, what do we bid? Hearts. You just bid the one below that. That insists then that he bid the next suit up. Okay? And this is, we're doing this why?
To keep the control in his hand.
To keep the control in his hand, to keep him as declarer, and let your hand, the hand of the captain, but your hand will be down on the table as dummy. No, because once we have the agreement that we have transfers, any bid that you make other than 2 clubs, and that's because it's a special bid called Stamen, which we'll talk about later, but any bid that you make, you have agreed is a transfer bid. And so they are going to have to bid it. Now, you can make a 2-spade bid, and a 2-spade bid would transfer them into a minor suit. We're not going to cover that today. And actually, I think for the most part, you shouldn't transfer into a minor suit. If you've got a game and you think it might be in a minor, you might as well try playing 3 no trump. And if you don't have a game, you might as well let your partner just play 1 no trump, because if you transfer, he's going to be at the 3 level in clubs or diamonds. Okay, so usually we don't, at the beginning level, we don't transfer into a minor suit. So today we're just talking about transferring into hearts or spades, okay? So we have them transferred into either hearts or spades, and this is where this comes in, the 2 elements we've got. We've got either a game, and we've got either 5 or 6. And all of our second bids depend on what the situation is. So let's look first at this example. We've got 1 no trump, we've got pass, we've got 2 diamonds. What does that mean?
Hearts.
Hearts. They have hearts. Partner must bid hearts. So what is this bid going to be? 2 hearts. Just the next bid up. Pass. Okay? So we have now transferred him into hearts. So now that was the first bid. That means, what does that mean about this hand? What do we know about that hand for sure? He's got 5 at least hearts. 5 at least hearts. Okay? What if his next bid is 4 hearts? Not only does he want to go to game, he went to game. So what do you think must be true about his hand? He's got at least 10 points because he knew there was a game. What else is true about his hand? 5 or 6 hearts? 6 hearts. He's got for sure 6 hearts. So now we know for sure he had 6 hearts and 10 points.
So if he only had 5 hearts, he wouldn't go to game?
He would go to game, but what game would he go in? 3 no.
Oh, I see.
See? If he has only 5 and only 5, his next bid is going to be no trump. And if he has the game, it's going to be 3 no trump. What if he only has 8 or 9 points? What is he going to do? 2 no trump. Bid less than game. Once he bids 2 no trump, what do we know about his hand? He has 8 or 9 points, and how many hearts does he have? 5 and only 5. See, if he had 8 or 9 and 6, he would bid 3 hearts next. Yes?
Would he still go to no trump if his hand was very unevenly balanced?
Well, no, because all this guy is interested in is hearts and spades. So if he also had a long club or diamond suit and it was really unbalanced, then no, we'd rather play 3 no trump. If he had 5 hearts only. If he has 6 hearts, we're always going to want to play hearts or spades. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's look at one other scenario here. What do you think he has? Yes. He has at least 5 hearts still, but he has less than 7 points. And so this is called a transfer and a drop. Just drop them there. Because think about this. Don't you think it would be easier for your partner to play 2 hearts if you have at least 5 hearts and he's got 2, and he may have 3 or more, may even have 4, could have 5. Not likely, but could. It's easier for him to make 2 hearts with you having 2 or 3 points than it is for him to struggle through 1 no trump with you having 2 or 3 points. So that's why we make that change. Okay, questions on any of this? So the bottom line on this is, if we are the responder, we're the captain of the ship, and we find ourselves with at least 5 in a major suit, we are going to transfer. We're always going to transfer. And then our next bid is going to depend on our how high and where strategy. Okay? If we know we have no chance for a game, we're just going to transfer them and drop them there. If we have a game, we're going to bid the game next. And we'll bid either no trump or the major suit, depending on whether we had 6 or whether we just had 5. If we have less than game, then we make a less than game second bid, either no trump or the major suit, if we have 8 or 9 points. Our partner then is just going to respond based on what we've told him. And we've told him the decision he has to make, which is if we've bid less than game, he goes to game with 17, he passes with 15. So we're still directing him. We are still the captain of the ship. Okay? We're just directing him. He only gets to make a decision if he has 16 points. That's the only decision he can make. Okay, any questions about that? Yeah.
But the partner could have 3 of the hearts, and then you're saying that you just have to figure he's got only 2.
That's right. Yes. Well, okay.
That's kind of an assumption. Maybe he's better off in no trump.
Good point. That's a good point. Exactly right, Val. If he has 3 and you have bid just your 2 no trump, if he has 3, he's going to go to game in the suit because you've promised 5. He's got at least 3. He should be playing in the suit. Okay? Good question. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions on this? All right, this is transfers over no trump. Our next class is going to be Stamen over no trump. And Stamen is a special bid, special convention when we have 4 of a major suit, not 5 or 6. Okay, guys, thank you for class today.